Welcome back to Turf Talk Hype Edition. Vance, 3 weeks into the NTRA 3-year-old poll, 3 different number 1 horses had Champion Classic Empire supplanted by Irish Warcry. And this week, the winner of the most recent Derby points race, McCraken, cracks number 1.
Yep, McCraken was making his comeback in the Sam Davis, ran a really good race to win. He remains undefeated. Prevailed as a 3-2 favorite, even though you and I both kind of picked against him in that particular race. I thought it was going to be used more of a stepping stone towards his next race, but he proved us doubters wrong for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. My pick, fact finding, did not find more when the question was asked, and
my pick, no dozing, fell asleep, ran 6th all the way around the track, so it was disappointing on those 2 horses.
No, I mean, the winner was best. Some say, Tapper it. Someone mentioned the gallop out to me. To me, especially with McCraken's running style, I have a hard time gauging the gallop out because McCraken was unwinding the whole length of the stretch. So there was really no reason, once Brian knew the race was won, he wasn't really persevering. But, to me, I had him 6 going into the race. I have him 6 coming out. And I don't mean that as a criticism. Normally horses move up when they win. But to me, he ran the race that we've seen him win as a 2-year-old. And I'll certainly move him up as he moves on if he continues to win. But for me, that race showed us what he was. And it's important for 2-year-olds to move on as 3-year-olds. And Classic Empire still has to answer that question. But you mentioned the speed rating of 99 for a track record. To me, there's others who have been faster. I mean, that period, end of story. And until McCraken shows he's capable of that, I'm not going to have him in my top 5. But, I mean, he's certainly a contender. And out of all the 3-year-olds, 6th is no slouch.
No, I would personally probably put him a little bit higher than that.
No,
but like you said, the 99 speed rating was an improvement over his 2-year-old form, which I always like to see first time out. We didn't see that from Classic Empire for sure.
Or fact finding.
Or fact finding. The point is, with McCraken, it's good to be not to get too high with this horse, but also not to get too low. I think he, like you said, he did what he was supposed to do, what he was expected to do. He should have a lot left more in the tank. His next 2 preps are reportedly going to be the Tampa Bay Derby and the Bluegrass Stakes here at Keeneland. I think one of these prep races might turn out to be one of those that Ian Wilkes' former boss, Carl Nafzger, used to do with his former Derby winners. He ran Unbridled and Street Sense in the Bluegrass. Neither turned in their best performances, kind of maybe holding their horse a little bit to peak on the first Saturday in May. So McCraken might not be have a perfect record going into Churchill Downs in May, but I still consider him a very extremely top prospect.
Yeah, and you mentioned Ian being part of that Nafzger team for so long, Racing Hall of Fame trainer. And the breeding for me is, Ghostzapper out of a Seeking the Gold mare, classic all the way for sure. So lots to like moving forward. I almost, it's like let him lose the Bluegrass and sort of be a funny side-esque price. If he's 15-1 in the Derby, I'm really excited. If he keeps winning and can't crack, 101, 102 speed ratings, and he's 4-1 in the Derby, I'm going to try to beat him. So, the talent's there. It's just the type of horse, for me, that comes all down to price and, how he's coming into the race.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. If he hasn't produced ratings that are, far and above the rest of the field on Derby Day, 4-1 is going to be a huge underlay. In the Derby Future Wager pool a couple of weeks ago, I was kind of holding out for 10 or 12-1. He was at 9-1, and I decided I'm just going to go ahead and bite on that anyway because there's no way he's going to be that price come Derby Day. So I bid on 9-1, so I'll have that going for me.
Which is nice.
Which is nice on Derby Day. And if his form suddenly turns south from here on, chances are he's not going to be in the field anyway. So it's better to take 9-1 than take 3 or 4-1 on the day of.
No, absolutely, and that's actually a good strategy with the future. Is if they're in the gate, they're going to be well met. You can't say that about every connection and their intentions with the Derby, but certainly Ian, I would say you're probably onto something there. And I would expect when the win odds come out for their future book in Las Vegas that McCraken will be the favorite. We saw Classic Empire dip a little bit after his effort. A few others were in the 8-1 range. I would think McCraken's going to be the favorite now. So holding on to a good ticket.
Yeah, and I
Or I
kind
guess
of
Twin Spires probably is.
yeah. And I kind of wonder, since his road to the Derby is pretty much mapped out, whether that has any influence on people's wanting to back him or not. Because Classic Empire, we don't know exactly where he's going next. Irish War Cry could end up going to several different places.
Yeah.
And I mean, his strategy towards back to his home base at Churchill Downs is pretty firmly set now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting what they do with Classic Empire. It sounds like the Fountain of Youth is on the table, given the hoof excuse versus the climate or the track. It makes sense, I guess, if they feel like he can handle the track well and all as well. Why not? But I mean, Irish War Cry again. I mean, that's certainly no slouch in competition. And then the Bluegrass was always a race that seemed to make sense for Classic Empire. But if you have McCraken waiting for you there, and does Irish War Cry run in Florida again? Does he go to the Wood? Graham has used both areas before. So yeah, really interesting with for a change, all these good horses on the East Coast to see what happens. And we know Bob's going to send a few to Oaklawn.
Yes, I'm sure he'll be represented in the Southwest coming up on President's Day next Monday, which is our big prep this weekend.
All right. Well, don't sleep on the El Camino Real. If for no other reason that I get to bust out the image our cameraman created several years ago of the horse driving the El Camino.
Well, I will not sleep on it, but I'm not expecting the Derby winner to come through Golden Gate. It's been quite a while since.
Yeah, real quiet probably.
Real quiet. Charismatic, I think, may have run in that
Oh,
race too.
Okay.
So,
It's been a hot minute.
it's been a hot
All
minute.
right. Yeah, if we're going synthetic, I certainly prefer Turfway, but we'll see what happens with the Battaglia and the Spiral, and certainly see what happens with the El Camino and Southwest this weekend. But McCraken, definitely the talk of the town after the Sam Davis.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to have 9-1 on him.
All right, well, maybe we'll be back next Monday for a Southwest pick, but if not, Tuesday for a recap, or maybe both.
Can't wait.
All right, see you then.